Okay, man. So this is Friday. Uh, Man, it's already March. February's gone, even with that extra day, leap year, and here we are. It is Friday, but kicking off the new month on a Friday. It's a little bit strange, but I told myself, you know what? It's already Friday. I haven't done a video, and I got to do something, even if I do it live. So hopefully, I don't mess it up too much. That's kind of what happens. And at the same time, though, it's when you try to do a video and it's recorded, you start editing, and then you go overboard on trying to get everything so perfect that it takes forever. And by the time you get it done, it's kind of like it's been a week. And so, just to avoid doing that, and just putting something out there, I decided to get this. I've been thinking about this whole thing with the Zestimates. So that's what we're talking about. That was the thumbnail that I had up there. But before I get there, just into that, just had a couple things. It's been a long week. Hopefully, yours was good. Some challenges that always creep up on with business, with clients, with issues on files, with people not making their payments, people kind of having ideas of kind of what we should do versus what really should be done. But that's just kind of how it goes, right? But another thing here, if you noticed, I have a little quote there that I put up. I've been inspired. I've been watching lately Star Wars, Clone Wars. A few, well, during the pandemic, all this kind of happened. We're watching a little bit more of the series and kind of binging on some of these shows. Started watching those, then some of the other shows, The Mandalorian and Osaka and Obi-Wan Kenobi, all those came up. And you know what? I should go back and look at those. And it feels like I had everything out of order. But if you notice on those Clone Wars, they start off with a little quote, and I thought, I should do something like that. So hopefully I keep doing it, and I don't know, it's just something to play with. But just like the technology and playing around with this kind of stuff. But let's get to it. Zestimates. Many years ago, before Zillow took off, people would use the county assessors, what they got in the mail. Okay, that's what they say the value of the home is, and of course, and it's always people look after the self-interest first of all, right? On the if the property values are too high on the tax assessors, well, no, they're not. It's worth a lot less. Why? Because you want to pay less taxes. But when you want to get a loan out based on the value of your home, or you want to sell, you know what, the value is too low. Of course, I wanted a value for it to be high. So it's always people's best interest more than what the facts are that I know, I know that people look after. So you're always going to look, if you look at three values, you're always going to go with the one that gives you the highest value. Oh, that's the one that's for real, right? That's just not the way it works, right? But let's get back to this Zillow thing. So let me share my screen. And let me get a view where it looks a little bit bigger. This is the whole monitor, so it kind of looks pretty small. But Zillow, so this is Housing Wire, one of the sites that I get reminders, get emails, always looking to see what's going on in the industry. Founded in 2005, one of that's a marketing company, okay? United States, real estate marketplace, finding and sharing information about homes, real estate and mortgages, and they use our information from MLS to redistribute back into the world. And then they charge us and lenders and other industry professionals to then buy our own spots back, right? That's a lot of money, how they make it. So anyways, so the Zestimates took off when Google Maps came out, and they wanted to assign a value to, like, in the map version of Google, and to attach a price in that satellite view. And of course, since then, it's grown tremendously. Zillow got into the mortgage space. They bought off the Mortgage Lenders of America. They launched that, and I believe they still have their hands in that. They also got into this whole thing of iBuying. When Open Doors is a huge one right now, but Zillow got into that. They realized it wasn't working out, and so they lost a lot of value from that. They let a lot of people go, but anyways, estimate's still there. If you just Google, how better Zestimates, you're going to see it more than once on different places for it to, okay, this is not just biased information. So on here, just a quick one says Zestimates nationwide median error rate for active listings is 3.2%. 3 for off-market homes. It's now 6.9%, and the estimates are only accurate as the data behind it. Of course, that's just another one. There's a fellow agent here, Trelora Homes, here in the Denver metro area. So they also kind of wrote up something back a few years ago, 3 years ago, on the accuracy, and they have some data on that. And of course, the bottom line is that you want to use an agent and go off an appraisal to figure out the true value or the more realistic value of your home. This is another one, the Close, another industry source. And they did some more studies that went a little bit more in depth with looking at statistics, data, and they have some graphics out here, what the algorithm for Zillow looks like, and what data they're using and how they're coming up with those values. And here's another variation of what those error rates look like. And here the accuracy when we go into, within 5 sales of the sales price, 10% and 20%. So they're at 36%, 36 out of 100 properties that they get it, within 5%. Then within 10%, only 61 of 100 properties. And then within 20%, which of course for a $500,000 property, that's being off by $100,000. Well, they get within 82% of that. Well, almost kind of like with one eye closed and without looking at anything, you could kind of get to that. A lot more variations and factors to look into, but that's just the what's out there as far as a source of what does the industry say about Zestimates. I think if you use correctly, it's a good starting point just to get an idea of where your values are at. You're not going to go to market with that price, but at least you have a range. There's a lot of considerations of what are the comparables that they're using to come up with those numbers. And this is where we start having issues, right? Because then you have, what about upgrades? What of those comps that were people that fell behind, they had to do a short sale, or just the condition of the home was really low, right? So that kind of thing, those factors could impact. Let me change here a little bit the resolution, maybe help out with the streaming. And those variations in the individual cases for the home is what throws the Zestimate off. But you were within range. It's kind of like I use probably the book value for a car, and just to kind of help you determine, and the sample size and the variations are probably like a lot less for vehicles than they are for homes, just because of the neighborhood considerations, what's going on in that area, locations of things, or you have train tracks, schools, crime, all sorts of different things that may not be considered in the Zestimate, that at the local level through the CMAs, the comparative market analysis that agents do, and of course even further than that, an appraiser would do, they do kind of hone in a little bit more. But as a starting point, and to just have a blanket statement that it sucks, I wouldn't go that far. Now, let's look at an address. So I just kind of like took my thumb and kind of visually here at Google Maps, looked at an area and selected a home just randomly. So just kind of, let's see what different ways of looking at it at home values does with you know the, these results and how different the results are. So I go to Zillow, and here's this address, 1680 East 86th Place. This is North Denver, basically, with an almost Thornton. It's in Adams County, but almost in the city of Thornton. But the address is listed as Denver. So on there, they're giving it a Zestimate of $428,000. There is a lot of good information that you could still use. Obviously, look, it's a business, right? So they want to be able to give you a cash value. They still have some arrangements with that. Some of the comp information that they do use, and kind of they are using RE Colorado, which is going to be primary. Iris, that's a little bit more north. So you do get some sample size and some comparables, right? So that's 428. I'm going to share with you something that agents use, not all of us, but like I use it as sort of just an initial look at things without diving in too much, and that's the NAR Realtors Property Resource, and that's what this is here. So here, well, there's the property. It's saying at 439. And this is a real valuation. So it's basically a little bit more. That's what I like a little bit this of what does this mean? Okay. And there's a confidence level with that valuation. You can look at the location, and then so there's more tabs to it. Of course, this is just for the agents. This is not something that's available to the public. But you can kind of start looking at data beyond what Zillow does. Okay. Now another one, of course, is going to be the county records. So this is county records, Adams County, and there it has what they call the actual value, and then the adjusted value, that's what they base the tax assessment on. So the actual, what they're saying, okay, this is what it's 423. So we have 423. We had the NAR RPR, which is 439, and then the Zillow at 428. Okay. This is what I do, and this is what something that's available to. I'm always looking anything you can get your hands on as far as data to verify, to have a look at, do it, right? So this is a website here this is mine. Okay, so this is vidapropertiesexprealty.com. So you can go there. All you need is an address and an email. So you just put in the address here, and it'll confirm, because it'll come here as a little drop penny. You'll find it there. Then it'll say, okay, there's a report on your way. And so this is partly what I have customized into that report that goes out, but also way more information. So you're gonna get an email back, and it kind of looks like this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hide that. And once you click on it, you're gonna see an online report. When you see this online report, this is the menu. So information about myself, the comps that they're looking at. So as you can see, map version, or you can see it like this, full screen with all the data points, similar to Zillow in a way. Okay. More stats on the averages. I like to use median, but again, just as if I'm not involved in just looking at yourself, it gives you the date sold price per square foot, and days on market. Okay, so pay attention to the dates and days on market, because there's a correlation, 1-to-1 on that. A little more visuals on data statistics around the days on market, and then price. So asking price to what it actually sold. So just under, which is still very good. And then Then it gets into the Zestimate and comparing Zestimate values to this valuation. Uh, so here it says estimate is valued up to 64%, 64.5%, or $203,000 compared to actual MLS prices. So this is real data, and then gives you here the sold price compared to what the estimate was. Okay, and if you want to look a little bit further into this and explaining okay how real are well, kind of lost it there a little bit, but no worries. We're going back here to the data that I was sharing here. And there's this video again following here with the Zestimates. Uh, so I'm going to put the sound to it, but it's information again just to tack on to your research and way before you're actually looking at taking it to market. There's a whole process to that. Okay. Um, but to me, it's all about data. Let's look at the data. Let's find what's going on. A lot of that is available to you directly. So go for it. Okay. Now again, Vida Home Values to get your report, and then if you want to book and talk to me directly, there's on the ticker my phone number, or you can reach out to my online calendar, vidapropertiesexprealty.com, and schedule an appointment. Man, but that was all I wanted to share. Just something to end the week on. Talk about Zestimates a little bit. Enjoy the weekend, have some fun, and let's have something different here next week. Enjoy.